This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
If your roof starts to leak or your floors really squeak, you live in a money pit. Money pit.
If your basement needs a pump or your place looks like a dump, you live in a money pit. Money pit. Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
The Money Pit is presented by Ladera by Pavestone and Roof Maxx Roof Restoration. Now here's Leslie Segretti.
Coast to coast and floorboards to shingles, this is the Money Pit. I hope everybody enjoyed your Labor Day weekend. I am Leslie Segretti, and I'm joined by my teammate, Jim Kenzie. He's the best. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
I'm clapping for you.
Fan Club President Leslie Segretti. Thanks, Leslie. You're tremendous.
Oh, I love you. And I really do enjoy doing the radio show with you, so thank you so very, very much.
Fun way to make a living, huh?
Yeah, not so bad. You know what, guys? I cannot believe that summer is over. I mean, I'm a winter gal, so hooray. But this season's change is kind of hitting me a bit hard. I can't believe that Henry's a senior. Wowzers. It's starting to still be dark out when I step out of the Good Morning America studio at 6 a.m. to get my morning coffee. There's chill in the air, and that can only mean one thing, you guys. My 12-foot skeleton is going to be out soon. Hooray!
How cool.
That's truly how I mark the change of summer to fall. Get out the skeleton. Hoist it up, people. It weighs a ton. I love it. It brings so much joy. But hooray! So let's get some things done around your money pit before it's too chilly outside to do the work. We've got a great show for you this hour. Coming up, is your kitchen a black hole of mismatched Tupperware, expired spices, mystery gadgets that you forgot you owned or what they even do? Well, then it's time for a cabinet intervention. We're going to share some smart tips to declutter, deep clean, and reorganize those kitchen storages once and for all. And we're also going to give you the inside scoop on clever products that make staying organized a breeze. And we promise no label maker will be required. I mean, unless you really want to. It's all a fast, satisfying weekend project that will make your daily life a whole lot easier, maybe even a little more delicious. And are you finding gritty, sand-like debris in your gutters or at the bottom of your downspouts? Well, that's not just dirt. It's actually your roof sending a distress signal. When the asphalt shingles start shedding granules, it is a clear sign that they are aging fast. But here's the good news. You might not need a full roof replacement. Coming up, we're going to share how a quick Roof Maxx treatment can restore flexibility, protect against leaks, and add up to 15 years of life to your roof, all while saving you up to 80% over the replacement price. And also, is your entryway buried in backpacks, shoes, permission slips? Well, don't let that back-to-school season throw your whole house into chaos. We're going to show you how to create a smart and stylish command center right by your door with clever ideas for organizing your gear, taming the paper pile, and setting your family up for a stress-free fall. It's one quick weekend project that will make a big impact every single day. So give us a call right now at 888-MONEY-PIT so we can help you with all of your to-dos. Jim, who do we have first?
All right, Leslie, in the great state of Texas, we have Sean. He's got a question. Oh, I really like these, Leslie. He's got a question about a central vacuuming system.
I mean, those are awesome.
Let's see how awesome his is still, hopefully.
I've been in the house about 10 years. I don't know how long the central vac system was in the house prior to me being there. In the past year, I've gotten a lot of condensation water buildup in one of my inlet pipes, and that pipe runs inside my AC closet. And I don't have any idea how to keep the condensation, because the condensation is actually running out in a brown, muddy-looking water down my walls and ruining my walls also.
So this pipe is in like an air conditioning closet? Does that sound right?
Yes, sir. runs through the closet and then up into the attic.
All right. So what I think kind of is happening here is that you have cold temperature on one side of this pipe, which is probably because it runs through the room where the air conditioning is. And then you have warm air inside the pipe, and that's kind of releasing the moisture and forming that condensation. So the solution here is simply to insulate the central vac pipe, because that's going to prevent that temperature change, and that in turn will prevent that condensation. I mean, typically we don't insulate the central vacuum pipes, but in this unusual circumstance, by putting the insulation around the outside of it, you'll no longer have the difference between the cold temperature on the outside and the warm, moist air on the inside from the vacuuming, and that should take care of the problem.
Would that be inside the attic? Because I've already done that in the closet itself, and it didn't seem to help.
Yeah, I mean, good job. I would probably do the whole pipe itself, because if it's a condensation problem, you basically need to stop that temperature differential across the whole length of that pipe, and that should do it.
All right. Well, thank you for your help. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we appreciate you. Thanks so much, Sean. Good luck with that project and all of your awesome vacuuming at such convenience around the house.
All right, we've got Sunshine calling in from the Linda State. Oh, I think I may have flipped that around. Yeah,
no. Although, that's a great nickname,
it
Sunshine.
Would be. Hey, Sunshine. Hello, Linda. How can we help you out today in Florida?
I have a cement floor that was originally stained, and then it was painted over with supposedly a really good stuff. And now, not doing well, and we want to take care of it, but we don't want to have to remove all that's there. We just want to know if you have something we could put over it that will, it has heavy machinery in it, and, you know, there's gas and oil and all that sort of stuff.
So is this in a garage?
Actually, it's in a hangar.
Oh, a hangar. That's really cool. I mean, so in general, you're not looking at something that should be used for a residential installation, and hopefully that's not what was put down on the floor currently. What you would want is an industrial floor coating like an epoxy paint. And epoxy is going to do the best at bonding and curing and being strong, because it's sort of a two-part process, and it cures in a way that it will kind of creates a chemical reaction and becomes very, very sturdy and durable, and it gives you that finish. A stain sort of saturates into the concrete floor, so it does better of just kind of putting the color into the material itself. Whereas a paint, I wish you could see, I'm petting the counter surface right now, like it goes in, and this one's on top. Yes, my desk is like, it's on top, Leslie. So the paint sort of sits on top of that concrete. And if it's not adhered well, which it sounds like it's not because it's flaking, whatever you put on top is not going to stick regardless of what that material is. It'll just chip off with what's already chipping off. So you'll have to get rid of any sort of loose material that's there now. I would just kind of pressure wash the floor. That will abrade the surface. That will get rid of all of the loose paint that's there. Now, however, you're going to be putting a lot of water onto this concrete floor. It has to dry fully, thoroughly before you put anything else on it. So clean it, get that surface abraded a bit, get rid of all the old chippy stuff that's on there, let it dry, then go ahead and do the epoxy coating. And it will do the trick. It's not terribly expensive. You'll need multiple kits, but it's not terribly expensive. It is something you could do yourself, and it would really do a good job.
Well, thank you so much. I enjoy listening to you.
All right. Thanks, Linda. We appreciate you giving us a call at 888-MONEY-PIT. Hey, Money Pit podcast fans. You want to help us out? Well, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we're going to give you a virtual high five. Plus, you'll be helping us spread the word about our show. Just go to moneypit.com/review. Well, now's a great time to begin transitioning your decor from bright summer colors to those warmer, cozier tones of fall without fully giving up the summer just yet. So let's try these easy swaps. Your pillow covers and your throw blankies, switch out those linens and canvas fabrics for knits, velvets, even faux fur and rust, olive, deep gold tones. You want to layer in nature. Early fall touches could be like eucalyptus or mini gourds or branches with berries. And candlelight glow. Bring in that flameless candle look or lanterns. It's going to warm up the vibe as the days do get shorter. This is all about softly easing. It's like a soft launch, okay, guys? We're just kind of easing our way into autumn. So don't feel like you need to break out the pumpkins just yet. or the 12-foot skeletons. Totally up to you. Whatever you want. But that's on you guys. All right. But this is a great way to kind of say summer's gone, fall's coming in. It's not quite Halloween, but soon it's Christmas. I'm very excited. I love this time of year.
Kinda, but you miss summer a little bit, but then you think ski and fall and...
I don't really. Summer's not my jam, but it's fine.
But you still miss it a little bit.
I'll take it. I like to swim and stuff, but I really love the snow. Come on. Who wants to meet up at Stratton? Let's go. Jim, who's next?
All right, Leslie, now we've got Thomas from Johnson City, Tennessee. What's going on at your money pit, Thomas?
Got a basement, 90% underground. Got real small windows. Moisture is terrible. It's just coming through the woodwork. I've sealed up the basement so many times. I just can't keep the mold and mildew out.
All right. I mean, you're on the right track. And what you really need to do, though, is reduce the amount of moisture that's getting down there. And the first thing that you want to do, because if you have a lot of moisture that's collecting around your foundation, this is what happens. And generally, it's because the gutter system is either too small or is non-existent, or it's blocked, or something's not working right. Generally with gutters, the downspouts are dropping the water right next to the corner of the foundation, and they're not going out far enough. So all of that excess water that's building up at that foundation perimeter is kind of soaking there, and then because it's concrete block, and concrete's kind of like a sponge, it just absorbs all of that moisture and sucks it right up, and then it evaporates into the air in the basement, and that's why you end up getting this feeling of humidity. It's that evaporated moisture from what's being collected at the foundation. And the first thing to do here is kind of look at that gutter situation. You can head on over to moneypit.com, search also how to prevent leaks in basements there or gutter issues, and you're going to get a ton of articles. But what's happening here is that your downspouts, maybe they're right next to the foundation. What you want to do is get them to extend about 4-6 feet away from the house. Make sure you have one downspout for every 400 to 600 square feet of roof surface that you have. And then make sure that the soil that goes around the foundation is sloping away. You don't want it to sort of deposit that water back to the foundation. And that should do a good job of getting the water away and kind of drying out the moisture in the basement initially. And once you've done that, maybe look at what's going on inside. You can get a dehumidifier. Even better is a whole house dehumidifier that gets sort of installed into the HVAC system and works with the ducting to pull out a lot of moisture all the livelong day. And it could pull out as much as like 100 quarts of water, which is a tremendous amount of water daily. And, those are the kind of things you want to do. Portable dehumidifier, whole house dehumidifier if you can. Look at the exterior of the house, look at the drainage, look at the grading. All of that should significantly reduce that humidity and that moisture in the house. At the very least, address what's going on outside if you can't address the inside. And if the inside even is just the portable as a temporary solution, that's also great. But this should definitely help you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT. Well, if your kitchen cabinets feel more like a cluttered catch-all than a functioning part of your home, it's time to show them some love. Whether you're dealing with toppling towers of Tupperware, expired pantry items, or forgotten gadgets that you haven't used in years, this is a project that will pay off big, and you can do it in a single weekend. So your first step is to declutter. I know I always say this, empty everything out, and I do mean everything. Take it all out. Put it on the counter, put it on a table, and start sorting. You want to look for things that are expired or stale, especially in your spice cabinet or the pantry. Take a look at the storage containers. Are they cracked? Are they missing a lid? If they are, just recycle them. And then set aside those items that you rarely use. If you haven't touched that cake pop maker since 2015, I'm going to say it's probably time to get rid of it. Now, next, while everything is empty, you want to take the time to really clean the insides of those cabinets. And you can use a gentle cleaner. You can mix warm water and vinegar, wipe down the shelves, the corners, the door surfaces. Pay attention to sticky spots, especially near cooking zones. If you have shelf liners, replace them. all a great time to sort of start fresh. Now you want to reorganize kind of in a smart way. And this could be the fun part. You want to put everything back in a way that works for you. And here's a few great organizing strategies. So you want to group like with like. So all baking good items could be together. Snacks, you can put them all in bins. You want to keep the cookware near the stove, the mugs near the coffee machine. You can use clear bins. You can use Lazy Susans. All of these things are perfect for deep cabinets or high shelves where items kind of get lost. And bins are great for snacks or packets. And those Lazy Susans will just help you see and grab what you need quickly by just spinning. Now, stackable shelf risers, pull-out drawers, these tools create levels inside of the cabinet so that you can take full advantage of that vertical space. And I said you didn't need the label maker, but I lied. You can label the bins or the shelves if you want. I think you should. And
Sharpie.
It's super... No. What if you change your mind, Jim?
Different Sharpie.
No. Label maker.
Sorry, Mom.
So it's helpful. You know, it's kind of really good if you maybe your house is very busy. Maybe you have like a teen who doesn't know where anything goes and you're like, dodo bird, spices, here. Anything you want to say, I'll not judge. But this is all a great way to do it. And once these cabinets are in order, it's kind of easier to keep them that way. Do a quick monthly check, reorganize, toss anything that's expired. If something spills, clean it up. Stick to the system, return things to the zone, and just kind of make this a seasonal habit. A little refresh with the change of the season goes a long, long way. Organizing your kitchen cabinets isn't just about making the things look pretty, even though it does. It will make everyday cooking faster, it makes cleanup easier, and it might even save you money by avoiding those duplicate purchases. This is a low-effort, high-impact project that you're going to appreciate every time you open those cabinets. I mean, you guys know I love being hyper-organized, so this is totally my jam. Oh, wait. That was expired. Drat. I gotta throw that jam out. Never mind. You know what I mean. Jim, who's next?
My mind is blown that you ripped through toppling towers of Tupperware like it was nothing.
Yeah, I told you. It's decongestant, Leslie. I have a sinus thing going on. I'm very hyper-focused right now.
Okay, then. So let's get on to our next caller, okay? All right. Linda in Ohio, how can we help you out today?
I had an old garage torn down, so I had a prior cement pad, and I had a steel building put up. I have gaps now from the steel building is not, the metal is more like a corrugated. It's got a little ripple in it, and where it meets the floor, and they put a like 2x4 base around the inside to screw the metal to it. So I'm getting chipmunks in there. What can I use to seal it but still keep it so when the cold weather comes, it expands like it needs to?
Chipmunks are tiny and adorable, but those gaps have to be pretty big if a chipmunk is finding their way in.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, are we talking about a lot of space? How much space?
Some spots it's not very big at all, but some it's like maybe 2 or 3 inches high.
That's large. 2 to 3 inches sounds small, but it is big.
The cement pad was not really leveled, or throughout the years, too, it could have sunk down in certain areas.
Yeah, so if you've got gaps of this 3-inch height, you have to add some sort of siding material just to sort of cover that gap. You could actually use additional galvanized metal and form it to fit in that space. If you have smaller gaps, you could fill that with like a spray foam insulation, or you could use steel wool. I mean, sometimes when you're trying to plug up little gaps, especially when it comes to rodent prevention, you might put steel wool in there, because they're not likely to chew through it. But you can't have a gap that big and not expect that. I mean, you can expect maybe not a possum, but definitely a chipmunk's going to find their way in.
Awesome. I'll try that. The steel wool and the foam.
Yeah, good luck with that. And remember, tell Chip and Dale we said hello. Chip's the one with the black nose, like chocolate chip. So, yeah, tell him I say hi. All right, good luck with that, Linda. Listen, I know I complained when I had no AC because it was so hot, but hooray, it's fall. And you guys know fall is kind of like a pretty perfect season. Now the weather is chef's kiss. So as we head into these cooler evenings, you may want to throw open those windows, but only if your screens are up to the job. So here's a quick screen maintenance checklist. Vacuum or hose them off to remove the dust, the cobwebs, all that pollen. Patch the holes and tears with an easy DIY screen repair kit. I mean, they're under like $10 and they just take minutes to use, so pick some up because you never know when a baseball bat or something is going to crack another screen because that's just what happens.
Got two boys by any chance, Segretti?
Yeah. There's one screen in the screen-in porch that literally the frame is constantly bent inward because somebody loves to kick soccer balls at it.
The screen holds up, but the frame bends.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
So great. So, take a look around, guys. You want to check things out. Fix those warped frames, fix the gaps that let the bugs in, check that your screen doors are operating smoothly. If they're not, put a little lubricant on those worn out tracks. All of this kind of just brings everything back to life. And then you can for sure enjoy those cool autumn breezes as you sleep bug free. All right, let's see who we have on the line. Jim, who's next?
We've got Bill, who's deflating his kids' soccer balls to avoid the screen damage.
Oh, I just kicked them into the high school parking lot. Is that wrong?
And the Mother of the Year award goes to...
Woo! It's me!
Yes, it most certainly is, Leslie. We've got Jean now in Virginia who's got a question with her patio. What's going on there, Jean?
How do you put rumblestone brick over existing concrete without grout?
Hey, Jean. Yeah, so you can actually use that rumble stone on top of an existing concrete surface. In fact, it's a pretty good idea to do that. The way you would approach this is you would clean that concrete patio first. You want to make sure it dries really well after. Then you have to kind of establish a border around the exterior of the existing patio. So you could start right at the edge of the patio and you could glue the rumblestone paver bricks in whatever pattern you're going to use. And you want to start at the edge, but glue in the first 2 rows. And you can do that very easily with a construction adhesive. You use it with a caulking gun. And once you have that set, you can just sort of lay the new bricks in one at a time, making sure that they all work out in terms of being square, that the pattern's going to work out. And once that's done, you can sweep paver sand into the joint. You don't glue the rest. You just sort of glue the edging to lock everything in place. And that paver sand just kind of, I think when it gets wet, it kind of almost acts like an adhesive and just kind of holds everything together, but you can remove it. It's not like anything that's permanent. And it does a good job of, keeping weeds at bay for some time. So it's a pretty easy project. It's kind of like a fun puzzle that you get to walk on every day. So good luck with that, Jean. It's a good one.
Hey guys, give us a call anytime at 888-MONEY-PIT with your home improvement questions. So if your summer plants, maybe they're looking a little tired because it's getting a little chilly and the season's changing, this is the perfect time to prep those garden beds and your containers for fall. So try this. You're going to want to deadhead the annuals and cut back those leggy herbs. So when you look at the plants you planted all summer long, ones that will come back next summer, where that plant or that flower has kind of died, you want to deadhead it. So cut off that dead flower sort of just below it or where you see the live part. Wow. And that's going to just rejuvenate it. You can actually extend their life into the fall a little bit more, but also set them up for success come springtime. You want to replace faded plants with fall-friendly ones. So like ornamental kale, don't eat it, mums, pansies, all of that really nice fall foliage, those fall looks. And clean and store those empty pots, start gathering fallen leaves so that you can mulch your garden beds. And I mean, it's not kind of like a full fall cleanup just yet. You're just kind of winding down the summer season. You're prepping for the cooler days ahead. It really is a great project for a weekend. So if you're looking for something to do, here's a project for you. As we ease into the back-to-school season, your entryway can quickly go from a peaceful pass-through to a daily disaster zone. Backpacks, shoes, lunchboxes, sports gear, and all that random mail seems to just land in the same pile. But with a few smart strategies, you can transform that cluttered corner into a hard-working, stylish command center that sets the tone for a smoother school year. So let's break down what you need to pull it off. First of all, you've got to kind of define this drop zone. Every busy entryway needs a designated space where everyone can drop their stuff, but like in a controlled way. You can have a slim console table or a small bench with cubbies, and that just sets the zone. Wall hooks or a coat rack can catch backpacks, jackets, and bags. No closet, no problem. Just create an area with a few wall-mounted hooks and a set of labeled bins. That totally goes a long way. Next, let's talk about all the paper and all the mail that the kids come home with every day that's coming in through the mail slot. permission slips, homework, schedules, bills, coupons. Without a system, they all kind of vanish into each other. And then next thing you know, you've missed the chorus presentation and everybody's in trouble. So hang a wall-mounted file organizer. Maybe it's just a magnetic board with clips for each family member, and maybe a mini calendar or a dry erase board per person. It just helps you set up quick reminders for all of those things that are upcoming so nothing gets lost in the shuffle. Also, shoe and gear storage. You got to figure out what's going to work for you. Maybe something that's vertical. Definitely something washable because cleats stink, you guys. Stackable plastic bins, deep baskets with labels. It all makes it easy for kids to put the cleats, the shin guards, the muddy sneakers. Also, think about putting a mat or a pan for the boots and the shoes. It just helps collect the dirt and the moisture, and that's going to save your floors. Next, let's talk about everyday essentials. So create a grab-and-go spot because last minute somebody's running out the door and they're like, oh, where's my keys? I need a pencil. So if you've got a spot with a small tray for keys, a jar for pens, maybe a basket with sunscreen and bug spray for the sport days, and backup charging cords. Or my favorite when I'm at work and I get a call, where are my headphones? Dude, I don't know. But, somehow there's always a pair in the junk drawer. So have an extra set of wired headphones there because somebody always needs it for a Chromebook. You got to make that space fun and functional. It doesn't need to look like a cubicle. The hooks can be fun. You can add cool wall decals, colorful bins, framed art. Give it personality. If you do kind of have a separate zone per kid, maybe let them decorate it themselves, but encourage them to keep it tidy. If you build a habit in here, guys, of resetting the area once a week, empty the backpacks, recycle the old papers, reorganize. It could take 10 minutes, maybe 8 minutes is whining and 2 minutes is the actual work, but it can save you sanity all season. I'm telling you, 2 weeks before school started, I'm like, Charlie, let's go through your backpack. And he opens up the backpack. The lunchbox was still in there with the last lunch from June. The sweatshirt he'd been looking for forever. Oh. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to throw this all out, honey. I put the sweatshirt in the wash and I just threw away the backpack and we were done. We were done. I did not want to know what had happened in that lunchbox. I'd rather just never know and just...
Not worth the risk.
Nope. I didn't want whatever is living in there to now be in my house. So let's get ahead of it, you guys. And maybe your June will look a little different. All right. Jim, who's up next?
Time to talk flooring with Steve, who's looking to remove some carpet and add some tile. What's going on, Steve? How can we help out?
I have a 1975 RV that's got that green shag carpet, and I want to rip that out and put a hardwood floor in. And my question is that possible to put a laminate floor in an RV?
Well, Steve, when you're doing a flooring project, especially a tile project, the key is to make sure that the subfloor is very, very sturdy. And what you have amounts to about 1.25 inches of subfloor. I think that's a pretty solid start. That backer board could be the 1/4 inch that you put on top of that. But having that solid subfloor underneath is the key here, because if that subfloor is a little wonky or uneven or has movement, tile doesn't bend. And when you start to get everything in place and walk on it, the tiles can and would snap, especially if you have like a larger tile. There can be no flex because those tiles really would bend over that sort of course of the space. Like a mosaic, a tiny tile or something like that could sort of tolerate a little bit of movement. But I think with that 1/4 inch backer board, you're going to be good to go. And I love a tile project. So I can't wait to hear more about it, Steve. If you have pictures, if you need any more questions, let us know, because I love befores and afters in tile projects. And it's a great project to do. So good luck with that. And let us know if you need a hand with anything else. Let's take this time now to check out the Money Pit inbox. Jim, who wrote us this week?
Sheena wrote in, and she says, my bathroom exhaust fan has dripping water on the ceiling next to it. What could be causing this?
Well, here's what I think. I'm going to have to guess that you have central air conditioning. We're still kind of in that transition weather between summer and fall, and maybe you've got the AC on. And when you have warm, moist air and it gets drawn up into that exhaust area, especially if it's not ducted properly or perhaps there's a gap in the ducting. That exhaust ducting, all that warm, moist air is going to strike the cold metal duct and it's going to form condensation. And when that happens with water, you're going to get moisture. It releases that water and it just kind of goes drip, drip, drip. And that's what we see. I mean, especially if it's really humid out, you're just going to see a lot of this condensation. Now, air can get up through that exhaust fan. So go up in the attic and take a look above the exhaust duct. Make sure it's properly connected to the fan. And secondly, insulate your attic ductwork. You can wrap them with insulation. I mean, there is insulation designed especially for this job. And this way you won't have a cold surface for that warm, moist air to strike against and form that condensation. Another thing, if you're like, no way, this all looks super duper, I don't know why I'm getting that, we don't have condensation, just take a look at the air handler upstairs. Maybe, well, in the attic, there might be a clog and perhaps that drip tray isn't sort of accommodating the water that's coming out of the air handler. We had this happen and I noticed a leak sort of close to where our exhaust vent was, and it was just a clog in the air handler in the attic and it just was not going in the drip tray. So a couple of things to look at when you're up there, and that should totally do the trick.
All right, Leslie, good answer. Now we've got David who says, I purchased my home 2 years ago and the home inspection came back just fine. Now the walls are cracking. The nails are popping out of the drywall. What do I do?
Well, you know, I know it's troubling to a lot of people. They presume like the worst when they see a drywall crack or a nail pop and they think, it's a structural problem. But the fact is that homes are constantly expanding and contracting all the time. And this movement is very normal, David. If you're concerned, like overly, you can hire a structural engineer to kind of look everything over. But I do just think that's a little bit of overkill. Also, you can have a home inspector come check it out. But I feel confident that this is just natural movement with the home. So for cracks in drywall, you're going to find them especially around doorways and windows. Nail pops, that's normal. A quick fix there is you just put another nail next to it and overlap the head. And when you drive it in, it kind of pulls that first nail in, re-spackle it, and you're good to go. Trust me, you're going to see a lot of this just as normal house movement. And once you learn how to take care of it, you're good to go. Well, that's a wrap for this hour of the Money Pit. We kick things off with a smart roofing reality check. If you've spotted gritty granules in your gutters, it could be your roof's way of saying help. A Roof Maxx treatment can restore flexibility and waterproof protection and extend your roof's life by up to 15 years. Then we dove into one of the most satisfying weekend projects out there, organizing your kitchen cabinets, and we covered how to declutter, deep clean, and use clever storage products to finally bring order to your spices. And with back to school season ramping up, we shared tips for transforming your entryway into a functional family hub. So lots of great stuff, whether it's your roof, your kitchen, or your daily routine. A little organization now goes a long way this season. And remember, guys, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. We'll see you next time on The Money Pit.
On the Money Pit Radio Show. On the Money Pit Radio Show.
Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
That's the sound of the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron and the quiet confidence of ultra-smooth handling. The elevated interior reminds you this is more than an EV. This is electric performance redefined.